Welcome to First Garden, New Gardener. I'm Joey Barrett. Well, we're on the back side of the garden today where we get adequate amount of sunlight, about 7 to 8 hours depending on the day. So we figured this would be a great location for our burlap sack garden. Now, burlap sacks, these had coffee in them, and we got these from our local coffee roaster. Now, based on where you live, you might want to do some research and call a number of them, because there's several of them that we contacted. They were wanting us to purchase them for $1 a bag, which is not terrible, but we made some other phone calls, and these were given to us for free. They said we could have as many as we want and come back anytime. So again, free gardening, that's what we went with, free bags. So we got 5 bags here. We filled them with certified leaf compost from Sue's. The nice thing about burlap is they air prune the roots, they're porous, so the water will drain through again. And then the great thing about it, they air prune the roots to allow the roots to have more fibrous ends to them, which absorbs more nutrients from the soil. Another thing about the containers or about the burlap is, though they're elevated, they have the potential of drying out much quicker than if it was in a traditional ground garden. So that's something you want to keep in mind. Now, we're having ours placed right on the ground. We've not cut the bottoms off them at all. We've just filled them with the compost, rolled the edges down to where we felt it was an adequate amount of soil. That's totally up to your discretion, how much or how little you want to put in your burlap sack. Just remember, the less volume of soil you put in, the quicker that is going to dry out, regardless of what type of container you're putting soil in. So we got 5 bags here. We're going to do 1 bag in potatoes, 2 in tomatoes, and 2 in peppers. We'll keep them moist, we'll keep them adequately checked up and make sure everything's good. Now these burlap sacks will last potentially 2, maybe 3 years based on the thickness of the sack. Now some of these were very thin, so we doubled them up. So that's another thing. And I'm just going to plant these just like a normal planting them in a container, the same type of procedure. Now it may be too late in some places to plant potatoes. Here in southeast Wisconsin, being on the back side of the garden, being cool, this cool in the afternoon, I think will be very it'll work very well for us. So I'm just going to go ahead and plant them, and I'm going to, then I'll water them in real good, and then we'll begin our burlap sack garden. So I've just got some potatoes here, since we've used all of ours in other containers and in the main garden that were sprouting in the kitchen. These are organic russets. And I'm just going to bury them just like a normal planting procedure. They've got multiple eyes, so I'm just going to throw them in the ground there. And based on the size of the sack that you may get from your coffee roaster, or if you have other available places where you could purchase good burlap, you can determine how many of any type of vegetables or fruits for that matter you can put in your burlap sack. So we got that done, and then we're just going to plant the tomatoes and the peppers. So we got all our burlap sacks planted here. What we have planted is we've got russet potatoes, we've got a green zebra, black brandywine, as well as we've got 4 Hungaris sweet peppers. Now I planted 2 peppers per container because the rumor or the theory has been passed around that if you plant them together, you get twice as many peppers. Not because you've got 2 plants producing peppers. Something about putting them together allows them to produce twice as much as they normally would per plant. So we have an opportunity to practice that theory here and see how successful that really is. I'm just putting some whole grain cornmeal around the tomatoes to prevent early blight. And if you have not done this yet, you can. And for more information on how to plant the best and get the best tomatoes, it's all on our website, thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com, and we have a digital magazine that we produced that was strictly about how to grow the best tomatoes, as well as other digital magazines available. So with that being said, we're going to get these watered in, and 1, they look very, very nice back here, and 2, we hope we get a very good success and harvest off of these by maximizing a resource, burlap sacks, that otherwise would probably be just tossed in the dump. Thanks for watching. I'm Joey Barrett, and this has been First Garden, New Gardener.
For more information, please visit thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com.